Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries Podcast. As always, I am Justin Allen. I'm here with Moses Wardtooth, and we have got a interesting video to start out with. Airplanes, once again, man. I don't think I'm flying for a while.
Some people are scared to fly, and these videos just ingrain that in them a little more.
Validate that fear.
Yeah.
I want to know if Boeing actually made this plane, though.
I don't know.
So, the plane doesn't crash, but it probably sure as hell felt like it was about to any moment, like to these guys. But we'll watch the video. It was kind of, I bet it was terrifying, but I don't know. You'll see the scene in there that's comical, but there's some of the stuff that's kind of comical about this, but I bet it was terrifying.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Now to the images coming in. The passenger plane making an emergency landing after flying into severe turbulence. The flight from Madrid to South America diverted to Brazil. At least 30 people injured, many thrown around the cabin. One passenger apparently getting stuck in the ceiling. Here's ABC's Victor Oquendo.
Tonight, terrifying turbulence rocking a packed international flight, injuring at least 30 people. Video showing a passenger apparently stuck in the ceiling of the aircraft, his feet dangling over the aisle. It's unclear how he got there. You see the badly damaged, blood-stained cabin, a seat destroyed, and holes where passengers slammed into the ceiling. Paramedics seen carrying one person off the plane on a stretcher. The Air Europa flight from Spain to Uruguay, with at least 325 passengers on board, hitting turbulence over the Atlantic Ocean early this morning, making an emergency landing in Brazil. This man saying the plane suddenly destabilized and went into a dive, sending passengers without seatbelts on flying. As millions are set to travel this holiday weekend, this is an important reminder why you are always urged to keep that seatbelt fastened.
That's my thing, is like, if you just, when there's crazy turbulence, especially if it's getting like that bad, dude, you put on your seatbelt, or else you're gonna end up like a fucking cartoon, man, having like legs dangling out of the ceiling, you know?
Every time I fly, I wear the seatbelts anyway, because 90% of the time I'm asleep, and I don't want nobody waking me up telling me to buckle up.
Yeah.
So I just buckle up.
I keep it on, but I usually just keep it kind of loose.
Yeah, they don't care if you're actually cinched up in there. They just want to, all they care about is whenever they walk by, if the two fucking things are clasped together. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah, man.
Then they can at least be like, I thought it was safe.
We need to dig into this. We need to see if Boeing made that plane.
I feel like
it was a turbulence issue, but that thing fell apart real quick on the inside, dude. They said there was a chair ripped out.
They had like 200-pound projectiles getting slammed into the ceiling, man. Those planes aren't meant for that stuff.
Dude, but that dude coming out of the ceiling, like, it almost looked like he was up there till they landed.
Yeah, like,
you know, it's like, oh god, get me out of here.
And I guess there's a lot of space up there, but his feet were the only thing hanging out there, and he was like a full-size man.
But talk about, man, this goes back to, like, we've been talking about lawsuits here lately. Dude, talk about the payday, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was blood on those seats.
Blood smeared on those seats, dude. Especially if you got, like, whoo.
And that woman that got pulled, that's why I said she was faking, that got carried out on the stretcher.
Bro, I like to think I'm a fairly honest person, but yo, I'd be like, I need a neck brace. I'd be like, straight up. It's a multi-billion-dollar airline company just did this. Hell yeah, I'm gonna get some.
I don't know. It was technically turbulence, so I don't know if they might be able to worm their way out of that and be like, that was out of our control.
Who knows?
That was Mother Nature stuff.
You know that shit you have to sign, like whenever you buy tickets and stuff. No one ever reads. It's probably in there somewhere.
I don't know, man. Like, they could luck out on like the woman that sued McDonald's for burning hot coffee on herself because they didn't have the warning label. Like, that was some mindless bullshit.
Did you watch the documentary about that?
No.
Because I thought that was all bullshit, right? Because you're like, oh, she burned herself because the coffee was hot? Dude, no, man. It was fucking bad, dude.
Was it like, she got like third-degree burns and shit, right?
She had to have skin grafts. And it fell. She was like, I think she was like in her 80s, I think. She was like an elderly woman, man.
Oh, so it ripped that skin to shreds.
Uh-huh. But it fell in her lap where she was sitting in the car as a passenger, and she was stuck. And so, like, literally the back of her thighs and everything all had to have skin grafts. Like, it was bad, dude. And it turned out that they didn't have like a thermostat in there, or
so it was just boiling that shit.
Faulty thermostat. It was basically just under boiling. And so it was just way hotter than what it should be, you know? Because what do you think coffee's going to be at? What, like 145, probably around there?
I mean, something around there.
You know, not fucking 215 degrees.
Yeah, not straight under boiling.
You know, or like whatever. So yeah. I watched some like little documentary about it one time, and it was like the whole suit behind it. And then at the end, you realize like she had like a legitimate claim. You know, I was like, damn. But now apparently, you know, they fixed all.
I mean, for some millions of dollars, I can spill some stuff on me, whatever.
I ain't doing that, bro. Fuck that. You better have some morphine on call, dude. I am not doing that, dude. Not at all.
I don't know, man. I'm all about a couple of days worth of terrible for some years of relaxation.
But I low-key kind of like it when, like, the little man gets over, like, on a big-ass corporation, especially, like, a Fortune 500 corporation that just, like, fucks people over nonstop.
Yeah.
You know? Like, McDonald's, like, they've been selling poison to us for how long? You know?
I mean, they're just like a drug dealer. The person has to buy it.
I've, like, damn near sworn off, like, all fast food at this freaking point, man. You know? But I don't know, dude. Shit, but yeah, dude, those guys could be getting fucking paid from those airlines, man.
I would think so. Because, dude, like,
it's gotta be terrifying.
Like
you're over an
last
ocean when
episode,
it's happening.
You mentioned your mailbox getting filled with letters from lawyers and
ambulance
shit.
chasers.
Yeah. You know that they're getting all that stuff too. They got that flight list printed out already, and they know they're just, even the people that didn't get hurt, they're getting letters. They're like, you were entitled to emotional compensation. Like, you got emotional.
You could probably throw lawsuits in different different countries because they departed from Spain. It occurred over the Atlantic Ocean, but then they had emergency land in Brazil. So you could probably file a lawsuit in Brazil, file a lawsuit in Spain. You know what I mean? Now, I guess the international waters are kind of fucked, but, you know, those two countries.
Like, no crime was committed. It was on international waters.
But, dude, you know some of the sketchiest flights I've ever been on were the ones in Europe? Like the Ryanair ones.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Everybody be like, man, these tickets cost like $50 and you can go to London. Yeah, there's a reason why they cost $50.
Oh, I know, dude. I did it every time.
I'd be praying. I
bought a ticket for $20 one time, man.
I think the lowest I ever got was like somewhere around 50 or whatever.
I got to Dublin for $20 from London. So.
Yeah, that was kind of nice, though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The only thing that was bad about over there is the amount of protests they do. Because there was multiple times when I was like living in Germany for that little 5-year stint or whatever, the airlines would have to shut down because like all the workers would just protest.
Protest what?
They just higher wages, better benefits, stuff like that, and they were all like heavily unionized. So they were protesting like every couple of months. They'd just be like, okay, well, no airport.
Shut down.
Yeah. Like nobody can fly out of Paris.
So you always had to get flight insurance.
Yeah. You did not fuck around on not having flight insurance there. So because I think I'm trying to remember where I was at. I think I was in Italy because there's a couple countries that are really bad about protesting, and Italy's one of them. France is another one.
No surprise there.
Yeah, and I came like really close. Like I finally got on my flight, man. And it was super delayed, and they were trying to like negotiate. I don't know what the hell was going on. It was all in Italian. But the best it was described to me was that they were like, "Hey, they're about to start like protesting." And I was like, well, can we get off this tarmac, like, in the air? But, you know, because that kind of changes the game. Like, we're in the air. We got to land, right? Like, whatever. Just get up in the air. That's all I need you to do. And then I got on there, man. And then it was like, when I landed, it was like the next day, there was a massive protest. And there was, like, no flights coming out of Rome for, like, 2 weeks or some shit. It was insane. So, like, and I was, like, in the military at the time, so I would have been charged leave for all that. They would just charge me leave for all that shit. You know what I mean?
Dude, I would have rented a car. But I was over there.
I ain't driving for fucking...
Come on, man. That shit's fun.
That would be kind of a cool drive, actually, because you get to go through like I was about to say Auschwitz, Austria. You get to go through like the mountains and all that stuff and everything. So like the Alps and all that stuff, and like Switzerland and all that.
Yeah. Whenever I was over there, they weren't doing no protests. They were still heavily under the old whip. They weren't doing nothing they weren't allowed to do.
Oh man.
So I had no issues ever.
There was a lot of protests when I was there, man. But who knows? But anyway, man, I don't know if I really want to be flying anytime soon. I mean,
man, it's a luck of the draw. You got way less. You got a way higher chance of getting in a damn car crash or anything else than you do flying on an airplane. So.
But dude, okay, just the lawsuit. You don't even have to like take it to court. Just the settlement.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because they're not going to go to court on any.
6 figures
shit.
Easy. $100,000 easy. You know what I mean? Shit. But I'm talking like, dude, I would be freaking out if that shit happened on a plane I was on and we were like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. I'd be like,
you know, on the screen you can push that button and see where the plane is on the map. There's just straight water, nothing.
Like, even if you live, how long is it going to take people to get to you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they can even find the plane, you know, that GPS shit is working,
Yeah.
you know? It's like, oh, God.
And by the time they get on that stuff, like...
Yeah, and then, like, the thought in my mind goes to the story that I think it's the USS Indianapolis. You ever hear about that shit?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God, it's terrifying. I'll brush over it very, very quickly, man, because I kind of want to talk about it on, like, an episode and do a whole segment about it, because it is kind of cool. Because, you know, like, history and, like, especially, like, war history and stuff like that. So World War II. It's a naval ship. Huge ship, USS Indianapolis. I'm like 90% sure that's the name, if I remember right. It sinks. It gets shot by the Japanese, goes under, and I'm trying to remember. After the initial attack, I can't remember how many people actually survived, but it was quite a bit.
I mean, I'm sure they had tons of people on the damn.
I want to say
in the first place. So.
Damn, I'm trying to remember because they were hit like really heavily. I want to say it was probably like around 1,000 people survived, but they're just floating in the ocean. So they got life vests on and they're just like linked up in circles, and they're like, okay, we just got to survive and
till we get rescued.
And then the sharks come, and they're there for days, and the sharks start picking people off.
Yeah,
and like there's like stories, dude, it's so terrifying. And then at the end of it, I can't remember. I think like less than 100 people were like rescued. Because they couldn't find the ship, they couldn't find where it went down. So these guys just floated.
Sharks.
And they said the sharks would really come at night, so it'd be pitch black. You can't see shit. Really.
You're like linked up with your buddy, and all of a sudden you just feel one of them go down.
Mm-hmm. And then there's like stories of guys like talking. They would wake up, and then they would go to like wake up their buddy next to him or whatever, and then like the torso would just flip over where the sharks had eaten them, like basically from like the chest down or whatever, you know. And it's just like, fuck, dude. That story is very terrifying, man. That makes.
Dude, if I made it out of that situation, I would never touch water again. I would never go over water, around water. I'd be scared to take a bath, dude. Like
one hell of a case of PTSD, man.
Yeah.
And the stories get so graphic because they were in the Pacific, so it was hot.
Oh.
So, and then they started getting like nasty sunburn and blisters. I mean, they had no sunscreen.
Yeah. And you're just frying in the ocean.
There's no shade.
Yeah.
You know, and dude, that's a terrifying story. You ever get some time for the listeners, just Wikipedia. I mean, there's tons of little short films about it, but the USS Indianapolis in World War II, man. Whew. That's why I don't fuck with water I can't see through.
Those guys better got Purple Hearts and Bronze Stars and shit.
Oh, they do. They got loaded on that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So, well, fuck it. I guess speaking of oceans and all
speaking
that
of water
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Next video ties right into that.
Outside of drowning and or being eaten by sharks.
This comes to you on land.
Yeah. Kind of brings the threat to you, you know? Hurricanes. Apparently we got some hurricane in the Caribbean that's going on right now. Hurricane Beryl, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, you can run, but you can't hide.
Water's gonna get you.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's fucking up the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica right now. But we'll watch this video and then we'll talk about it. There's not really much to make fun about of this. It's not really like a comical thing. It's just
a
interesting.
Old natural disaster.
Second named storm of the 2024 Atlantic season, hurricane season that is, and it hit the Caribbean islands today as a Cat 4.
And is the earliest hurricane on record to be this strong. Fox Weather's Max Gordon is live now with more. Max.
Hey, Mark, Christina. Well, Hurricane Beryl made landfall this morning, slamming into Carriacou Island in Grenada. This is a relatively small island, approximately the same width as Manhattan, but half the length. And at the time of landfall, Beryl was a high-end Cat 4 hurricane with 150-mile-per-hour winds. Now, the earliest Category 4 hurricane on record in the Atlantic hurricane season. This storm intensified really quickly, fueled by extremely warm waters. Beryl went from a tropical depression to tropical storm to a major hurricane in less than 48 hours. This is only the second named storm of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. Trees have been toppled, power has been knocked out in some places, and a life-threatening storm surge has sent water rushing inland across the southern Windward Islands. Storm impacts have been reported in Grenada, Barbados, and Tobago. Residents have been hunkering down in homes and shelters waiting for the storm to pass. The National Hurricane Center calling this an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. In St. Lucia, a nationwide shutdown remains in place even as the hurricane moves to the west, with people there being told to stay indoors until given the all clear. In Barbados, the water system has been shut down as a precaution. Schools have been closed and the international airport remains shut down. Now, as of right now, Beryl doesn't pose a major risk to the U.S. mainland, but we'll be keeping a close eye on this powerful storm, its impacts, and all the latest video on Fox Weather.
Fuck hurricanes, man.
Yeah, like we live in a spot where we can still be affected, but we're not in any danger.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you're getting some down power lines.
Yeah, like
and,
trees falling down, that kind of stuff.
Debris on the roads.
Yeah, but we ain't getting no water.
Yeah, we ain't getting that shit. I mean,
aside from rain, but like we're not getting no ocean water.
It's not like Hurricane Katrina when they were flying over like downtown Houston and they were filming sharks swimming on like freeways and shit. You know, it's
we ain't got to worry about that.
That's fucking scary, you know. Oh, dude, yeah, man. I mean, my heart goes out for those people, man. That sucks, man.
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do about that stuff.
And they're like small islands too, dude. You know,
I mean, there's nowhere to go. Like
you just fucked, man. You just got to deal with it.
You just gotta find a sturdy piece of concrete and hang on.
155 mile per hour winds. Dude,
that's crazy.
What?
So you got the wind and the body of water coming.
Yeah, and then all the shit that is slinging around too, man.
Yeah, everything that got picked up. Like,
yeah. Like, you seen those pictures of like pine needles being stuck in the side of trees and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, dude, no, there's no way, man. Nature don't fuck around, dude. You know?
That's why, I mean, I guess when you're an islander, it is a little different. But whenever you choose to live on like coast of Florida or California, some shit, like go like you know what you're getting into.
You can't move to Florida and be surprised there's hurricanes.
Exactly.
You can't live in California and be surprised there's wildfires and
earthquakes.
Yeah. So,
like you know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
basically.
It's all about what you're willing to experience. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like some dude in Kansas being surprised he saw a tornado or whatever. It's like, yeah, dude.
Or like the people that live below sea level in Louisiana.
Yeah, yeah,
totally
dude.
gulped up and are like, what happened? I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't want to be like. I would never live in a place where there's a potential. I mean, everywhere has potential shit, but like floodwater, I don't want to deal with
My
that.
life experiences have actually changed and determined like where I'm going to settle down at. Because I mean, like right now, like, you know, we live where we live, but we got plans and stuff. You know, eventually move on, do some other stuff. But dude, I'm not living near oceans.
No.
I'm not living where there's freaking earthquakes and where like wildfires are like a problem. I'm not living around major tornado areas, and I will make the exception to stay in Texas just because I love Texas. But outside of Texas, if I had to move somewhere, I'm moving somewhere further up north, like Maine, where you actually get 4 seasons and it's not completely hot as balls miserable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like, let me just tell you right now, brother, an August in Maine is not an August in Texas.
I mean, I would just go if I
like Maine a lot.
If I was moving out of Texas, I would go to the Dakotas, Montana, probably Montana or Wyoming.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think I'd probably do Montana. Wyoming's really pretty too, man. I like that a lot.
Wyoming would be a fractionally little better winter.
Yeah, dude.
But
I just gotta stay away from like natural disasters, man. You know, and that was like, I mean, when I was living in Europe, dude, like, yeah. For the listeners, a lot of you may not know, but like in a lot of Western Europe, they don't have air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't exist. Okay.
They didn't have AC in England.
They didn't have AC in England?
No.
God. But, dude, they were getting, like, historic heat waves that were killing thousands of people because they were dying from, like, heat strokes, heat exposure, all that stuff, dude.
Because when it comes to AC, when it's non-existent, like...
I mean, the house is just
people that don't have people like Americans, you take that shit for granted. Like whenever you go to a place, or you like even if the power goes out, you know how instantly miserable you are. Dude.
Yeah, just imagine that nonstop for months on end, dude. And that's literally what summers were like, dude. And I remember talking to one of my buddies. Because the Germans, they're like, oh, it's bad for the climate, it's bad for the environment and stuff. And I was like, cool, I get you want to be environmentally friendly. What the fuck ever, dude.
They're still trying to make up for World War II.
You got people literally dying. Yeah, they're trying to make up for World War II. That's what I felt like a lot of it
like
was,
our
honestly.
gas chambers were super bad for the environment, man. We gotta make up for this.
You know how much CO2 we produced?
Yeah.
Oh God, damn, dude, no. All right, that was
you
a
thought the
horrible
burn
joke.
pits in Afghanistan were bad, like Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, but yeah, man. So I remember talking to a buddy of mine. I was like, yo, eventually they're gonna have to get with the times, dude, because they were like, oh, it doesn't get over like 100 degrees here. They're like, where I was at in Germany, they're like, it rarely gets like in the 90s. And for the most part, that was true. But then we had like a 2-week heat wave where like I think one day it was pushing almost 100 degrees.
Yep.
And everybody was like, oh my God, like, and I was like, yeah, dude, like, I don't know, you know, you get with the times, dude. It's not all that bad, you know. I mean, yeah, you run up more electricity, but come on. So, but I don't know, man. I don't F with Mother Nature, dude. You know, I don't do it. You know, I don't like that shit. Like those crazy, like whether it's hurricanes or like those crazy storm chasers or whatever. Those people are psychos, dude. I'm Not dealing with that. But I have my biggest thing, and this is based from like our experiences with Hurricane Katrina. Really, that like really like because we didn't have power for 2 weeks here.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Or at least where I lived,
and it was power. No, it was 2 weeks for us too.
Okay,
and it was in the summertime.
Yeah, dude, it was hot as
humid.
Oh my god!
The people that don't live in Texas. It is miserably fucking hot. The humidity.
Go into your bathroom and turn your shower on hot and let it steam up. That's what it felt like basically the entire time. But
and then punch yourself in the gut too.
And then your food sucks too because nothing's frozen. You know, like you can't have like any actual meat. It's all It's all, like canned foods and stuff. But yeah, man, like so from that experience, I decided a long time ago I'm never gonna live on the coast anywhere that has issues with hurricanes.
I've never had a desire to live on the coast of like I don't really care about water anyways. So
well, you see the shitty part about me, man, like just the lifestyle that I like. You know, I'm a city rat, man. Like I like concrete, dude. Like,
yeah.
If it wasn't for like the crazy liberalism, like liberal bullshit, dude, I think like New York City would be great, or like Boston would be great, or like Chicago. Well, Chicago's not on the coast, but Chicago would be cool. LA would be cool, and especially like doing like stand-up comedy again, and then like us, you know, our stuff's going pretty well. It's like, you know, those are big cities that have potential for stuff, but I just can't live there, man. They're just too freaking crazy with too much
dude, the
bullshit.
only reason I would do this is if it was for financial gain, but I would be miserable. I hate cities.
Which is why I think we lucked out with Austin becoming what it is, dude. So there's like potential for us to eventually start like working down there. Yeah. And that would be an ace in the, you know, that hole in one right there, dude. You know, so I don't know, man. But bring it back full circle, at least Austin don't have hurricanes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they really don't have much bad weather at all. I mean, like...
No, I mean, it gets hot, but...
Yeah, but we deal with that shit right now.
Dude, did we tell the story about how we had to, like, walk through a homeless encampment with, like, 2 bottles of vodka? Did we ever tell that story?
Oh, no. No, we didn't.
I don't think we did.
No.
Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, so the last time we went to Austin to the Comedy Mothership and saw the comedians and stuff, when we initially got there, it was, like, about 4:30 p.m., so peak, brutal sunshine.
Sun is almost in the middle of the sky.
Yeah, like, just beaming down on us.
And you're surrounded by nothing but concrete, which absorbs heat and just radiates it, right?
We've been driving for hours. We get to the hotel. We drop our shit. We're like, okay, we got to get some booze because we're going to pregame before we go out.
Yeah, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like $20 a drink down there, dude. It's like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, so we got a pregame for that because fuck paying that much money. So we're like, all right, cool. We'll walk to the closest liquor store. And, dude, it was like, what, 8 blocks away?
It's about half a mile, 3/4 of a mile, something like that. But yeah, I think 8 blocks probably. Yeah.
And just in that, like, outside, because we were in, like, downtown.
We were, like, in the nice area of downtown. Yeah.
So even walking past, like, even in that area, there was every few feet homeless.
Yeah.
Homeless.
Just everywhere.
And there would be, like, groups of them. It was more like a family, like, just hanging out. Like, they weren't even doing it. Like,
yeah, it really just seemed like friends who hang out and occasionally ask people for money.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, they were 100% fucking homeless because
there's a lot.
Yeah, we came back there later and they were still all there. Like,
there's a lot. But so we were like, okay, we go to the liquor store, we pick up our shit, and then
and as we're walking, because like it's too and the bags are like clear.
Yeah, you can clearly see what's in these bags.
Yeah, like we've each got bottles of vodka in our bags, like we've got mixers and shit. I think I bought a beer or two also, and like we're just walking down and we're at the first stop where you got to push the button to cross the highway, and there's just homeless on the other side, and we look
there's
at
like
each
an
other.
Overpass. There's
It's
what
like
you'd
bridge
see.
homeless shit. And we look at each other and then we look at our bags and we're like, oh shit, we gotta walk through with this stuff and look at these people and like just eyes forward, do not acknowledge, do not talk to them.
So we like had a game plan too. I was like, okay, man, if any shit goes down, I'll throw my bottle into the crowd. You keep yours. We'll take off running. You know, like get them distracted, like scram, get out of here. You know. I was like, dude, are we about to walk through a homeless encampment with like 2 bottles of vodka? This doesn't seem like it's gonna go too well.
And it was cheap shit too, so it was like,
dude, it was like a $10 bottle of Taka.
Yeah,
it's like the cheapest shit you could
It was what they would have bought anyways. Well, we made it safely.
We did. No one messed with us. The real crazy ones kind of come out later in the evening and stuff.
They get more desperate and angry.
More aggressive, I think. You know, because more people are out or whatever. So some of them get pretty aggressive asking for money. I'm like, hey, no, dude, like, leave me alone. Because you can tell, like, sure, like, I mean, it is sad, but like you can tell like some people it's just legit like mental illness or like drug issues.
Yeah.
But some of those people, man, it's just a lifestyle they're choosing.
Yeah, they're legit. They're working age. Nothing's wrong with them motherfuckers. They can walk and talk just fine. So I don't see why they can't get a regular.
So they can probably ask for money all day, and they can probably easily clear $50 to $100 a day, easily down there, man. Because it's so packed. Even on random days during the week, 6th Street's packed.
Yeah,
You know? And it's like so many tourists coming in, especially with all those comedy clubs that have opened up just in the last 3 years down there. It's insane, dude. There's so much work to be had down there in the comedy scene, like, and it's bringing in so much tourism there too.
Yeah.
And there's also the bad side of it, because like I know people that lived down there before COVID and all that stuff, and they said it was a cool city, it was a good time, but then now like all these people from like a lot of people from LA and New York in the entertainment industry
Come down.
move down there, all those people follow, whatever. It's kind of starting to turn into like a mini LA, and it's just kind of like, God, just so many freaking homeless. Shit has gotten ridiculously expensive, man. Dude, I was looking at apartments to move down there because I was thinking about transferring to UT or whatever for school. I was looking at apartments, and I was like, you know what, man? Like, I make decent money. Like, I'm not rich by any means. I was like, I could afford maybe like a little nicer place or whatever if I'm gonna go back to renting. And so I found like apartments. I was looking for like downtown stuff. My bad, brother. Probably should have done that.
First mistake.
So then I come across, like, I'm looking at these like high-rise apartments that we saw, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe like $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month, maybe like a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, and which is a lot of money, but location.
Yeah.
I could do a lot of work down there. But anyway, so I go and I start looking up some of these places. Nah, dude. It's like starting price like $4,000 a month, and it'd be like a 650 square foot apartment.
Like a studio.
Like my living room is bigger than that. Yeah. But they still cram in like a kitchenette. They cram in a bedroom, like all this stuff. But it's
just micro.
So it's just
a fucking tiny home,
and I was like, dude, what the heck, man? And so for you to get something that I would consider to be like normal size, like normal being, I would say like 1,000 square feet and up, you're looking at spending closer to like 10 G's, man.
That's insane.
It's insane. I was
That's
like,
literally
what?
10 times the prices around here.
Yeah. I think I found one that was 1,200 square feet, and I want to say it was like $9,500 a month.
Jesus.
But it's kind of cool. Those like they're like luxury apartments or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. Then I started looking at shit in the ghetto, and I was like, oh, this is more my style. Like I was like, here we go. Now we're in the $1,200 range.
Now we're talking around.
Yeah, we're cooking with Chris. Let's do this shit. But those luxury apartments, man, like, dude, I don't know, man. If you had the money to spend, those things are nice, man. They got gyms, they got pools, they got restaurants in them. They got like services you can like hire, like they'll do your laundry and shit. They have like some of them have bars in there where you can literally room service to your like apartment and be like, hey, make me a freaking old-fashioned cocktail or whatever, and then they'll bring it up to your room and stuff. So there is some
None
of that.
That shit is worth it to me. I don't give a fuck about any of that stuff.
Yeah. So when the time comes to move towards that region, I'm moving to the hood, man. Is all I'm saying, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta go over the
dude.
river.
I'll go get my fucking bottle of Taka and make my own bullshit in my 1-bedroom, dude. Fuck.
That was a fun trip, man. We need to do it again, dude.
Yeah, we do.
We did. Matt McCusker had a show that just popped up, but unfortunately, because I got to go to Tennessee next week, can't make it, man. I really want to see him live. I think he's a good dude. Anyway, man, you want to get back on track, dude? Talk about our subjects.
Yeah, the next one is
This is actually like hot news right now.
Yeah, and it really raises some questions. Like like I can understand the division on this.
So when you first watch it, you're like, she's guilty as hell, and then this video doesn't do a very good job of like showing a lot of the evidence. But I kind of looked into it a little bit, and you're like, oh, hold up. She might not be
Maybe there's
guilty.
not everything.
Yeah, there might be some fuckery might be amok, is all I'm saying.
We have breaking news. Jurors in the Karen Reed trial have told the judge they are unable to reach a unanimous verdict. Reed is accused of ramming her police officer boyfriend with her SUV and leaving him on the ground to die during a snowstorm. She denies the allegations and claims she was framed by police. Let's bring in ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, the jury said they can't reach a verdict, but the judge has told them to clear their heads and keep deliberating after lunch. So what comes next?
Yeah, so what comes next is that the jury, I think about now, should be coming back from lunch, and then we're going to get some form of an update in the next minutes to, I would say, hours. And if the jury is still in the same position of being in a deadlock, the judge will be requested by both the defense and maybe even the prosecution, as they already have been, to give what's called a Tui Rodriguez instruction. Most of the country might understand it to be an Allen charge, and that's a formal instruction to the jury that they need to continue their deliberation. And that's an important part, because if the jury comes back after that, then there's a potential for a hung jury, because the jury is ultimately deadlocked regardless of any instructions from the court.
That's not the best video. There was another video, but I can't remember. I can't remember why I didn't send another video. But anyway, regardless. So Karen Reed, she's being accused of murdering her police boyfriend. Okay, hitting him with a car. He gets knocked out. I can't remember where they were at.
Somewhere cold, obviously.
Yeah.
There's snow.
There's snow. He basically is unconscious, and then he's outside and he dies. Like
Freezes to death.
Freezes to death, whatever. Maybe the trauma to the head, whatever it may be. So it sounds pretty clear, cut, and dry. But then they bring in like experts to review obviously to review the evidence.
Yeah.
And the thing is, that night, her and her boyfriend went to a house party with some of his coworkers. They're all cops, okay? All like just drinking bros or whatever.
Yeah.
Half a dozen dudes, whatever. Her and her boyfriend get in an argument. She apparently leaves. And I guess that's when she hit him. I don't freaking know. But
according to her, she just leaves and goes home. And that's
she leaves and goes home. He stays there.
Yeah.
And then basically the next day, obviously, he's found dead. And near the party, whatever. And, well, she did have a busted out taillight. And his hair was in some of the shards of the part of the taillight that was still intact.
So his hair was found on her vehicle.
Yes. But they called in, like, experts who, I guess, obviously
examine the shit,
know this stuff. And they were like, this is clear as day set. Like, planted.
Like someone got his head hair, placed them in, or they probably busted the taillight and then placed that hair in the crevices.
Yeah. So like the state was basically just saying, okay, she backed up, hit this dude or whatever, and then just left him for dead or whatnot.
I mean, wouldn't that be involuntary manslaughter if nothing else?
Yeah, I think most places give you like 5 years for that, right? Usually around something like that. But and so the state was just saying that, and then but her defense was saying she was framed, and it's looking like maybe, I mean, call me crazy. This is just a theory that I have. What if those dudes got into it with her dead boyfriend and they just fucked him up and killed his ass, and then they were like, "Yo, we got to plant this on somebody."
Well, I mean, did they say that the car backing up matched the type of wound that he received?
I didn't see that far into it, man, to be honest.
Because I mean, I would think that would be a pretty telltale sign of if that. Because
I didn't watch the entire trial. I just watched highlights from it.
And now this video was older, but the verdict just came and it was deadlocked.
Yeah, it was a deadlocked jury, so they had a mistrial.
Yeah,
so
the judge declared it a mistrial and said, and they wrote out something saying that they felt like they could go back, even if they went and redeliberated it, they would still never be able to come to the correct conclusion. Yeah. So then the judge was like, "Okay, you're dismissed."
Yeah, dude, and it was just kind of wild because apparently, based on some of the judge's comments, the jurors were like getting heated. Like it was like literally like down the middle.
Just 50-50.
Yeah, which that tells me, I don't know, man.
If it's 50-50, they do not have enough evidence to, like.
And then think about it. If you could be framed for some shit like that,
the police would be perfect dudes to do it.
Half a dozen of them all on the same page, like some Training Day shit.
Yeah, dude, like that. I'm pretty sure that is the plot of a movie. I think it is.
If it's not, it's going to be.
Yeah.
But she's got the eyes. It's in the eyes. Those Jodi Arias eyes. You know what I mean? Shit.
Those dead eyes, like
chick who killed her kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All that. So those AOC fucking eyes.
Yeah. 100%.
Charles Manson had them. AOC's got them. This chick's got them.
We gotta pull up because look at her eyes, dude. Those are AOC eyes. Well, as soon as you said AOC, like that looks like her.
AOC, a part of the squad, as they call it in Congress, I like to call it.
She's the kill squad.
I like to call it the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah,
but it is what it is, right? Holy shit! But hey, man, what did William Shakespeare say? Hell have no fury like a woman scorned or whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows, man? Maybe he fucked her over and she. I mean, a crime of passion, you know?
I could see the scenario playing out. Like, if they were at a party, they got pissed at each other.
Sure.
She goes in the car to storm off. He's, like, beating on the car, like, hey, bitch, get out of here. You ain't leaving me. She just slams on back. So, like, she probably, if she did do it, I bet she knows that she did it.
Yeah.
But then she was like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
I know. Isn't it crazy how people just leave? Like, I mean,
I don't know, man. Like,
I get getting out of.
Is it crazy?
I don't know. Because if I was in that scenario and like say because
you probably could have saved him.
Yeah, and it probably was an accident. Yeah. Backing up on someone like that, it probably was.
Because I'm sure both of them were drunk.
But
so
my
if he
thing
was like stumbling around back there wasted, and she was just like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
My thing is like, how did the taillight hit his head? A taillight is like waist high.
I don't know. That's what I want to know. If like, because there's experts that they can tell, like, if the backing up of a car would produce that kind of wound or whatever the fuck on it.
Yeah.
So
like
I want to hear
analysis
that.
of it. Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Maybe we might need to dive deeper in this case, man. Especially when it comes back up for a retrial.
Yeah, I'll have to see how it plays out, like, after they
get back into it. It'll probably be a year from now before she gets back on the stand or whatever.
I mean, either way, she gets to go home, right?
No doubt.
So, I guess... Yeah, because if it's a mistrial, that just straight up nothing happens to her, correct? Like, until the retrial, like, she's just free to go back to doing normal shit?
Yeah.
They need to follow her and see what she does, because if she goes crazy and is like, I'm living large now, then she probably did that shit.
Hey, I don't know, man. That Casey Anthony chick's out and she's walking around.
True.
I saw that on my social media, like Facebook the other day, man. I was like, what? Somebody snapped a photo of her in Walmart. They're like, yeah, there's Casey Anthony. She's walking around in my town. I was like, what? Like, holy shit. How does your life even go back to normal after that, you know?
But then, I don't know, man. And then, like, that shit happens, but
because Casey Anthony killed her kids, right? Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, Casey Anthony did.
She definitely killed her kids. And then Jodi Arias, but did she kill her kids or did she?
No.
Was she the one that killed her roommate?
The other one, there's another one that's famous that killed her fucking mom and had her mentally retarded boyfriend do
I know
it.
what you're talking about. And then the boyfriend went for murder, and then she got like 5 years.
And she's already out with another dude.
Damn, what is that girl's
I can't remember her name.
It's Rose something, right? It's got Rose in the name.
Gypsy Rose.
Rose. Yeah, it's Gypsy Rose. Yeah. Yeah. That's a wild story.
That is
a wild story. Because I feel like...
Which her mom was super messed up, too.
Oh, God, man.
I don't want to say she deserved what happened to her, but she was super messed up. Like, she fucked that girl up bad.
You can only push a system to the limit so much.
She did super psychological. I mean, I don't know about physical too, but I know for a fact, like, psychologically messed up shit to that girl.
Like, people are just fucked up and just do horrible shit for like almost no reason. But then, like, there's times where it's like, you'll see it, like, you know, like, there'll be like an abusive like husband or whatever, and then like, after dealing with it for 5 years, 10 years, the wife just shoots him one day. Like,
and that shit, like, I don't really see a problem with that.
Should she go down for like first-degree murder? Like, you know, I don't know.
I'd be like,
I don't know.
I'm sorry you waited that long to kill that piece of shit. Like, I don't know, man. If that was the scenario, I would feel sympathetic for the woman or whatever happened to that party.
For sure, man. For sure. And but I don't know. You know, it's probably got courts and stuff like that. They got like manslaughter.
This is totally different. So I don't know.
This is different. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it goes. You know, like. Yeah. Because like
we need more forensic evidence.
I'm like actually torn about it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if she.
Both scenarios I could see playing out. So that like, it's weird.
You know, because I mean, I don't know. There are dirty cops out there, man. And at the end of the day, dude, like, and who knows? Maybe say it was like, you know, like half a dozen bros just hanging out drinking, right? And then maybe that guy got in a fight with her. She fucking pills out, leaves, right? And then he comes back in, starts some shit, gets in a fight with another dude, cocks him one good time. Now he's fucking dead.
Or maybe they get into a fight outside, he gets knocked out, and they leave his ass, and he does freeze to death, and they come back out later oh shit, he's dead.
Yeah, and I was like, we got to figure this out.
Yeah, they're like, blame the girl.
Yeah, you know. Dude, and then so they had like dash cam footage from like I think like her leaving or whatever or some shit like that. And that was another thing I thought of. I was like, who has these dash cams? I've never met anyone that actually has a dash cam, but you see it all the time.
Was
and
the
like,
dude Russian? Yeah. every Russian has a dash cam.
I'm thinking about getting them in my car, man.
I've thought about it. I've thought about it for fucking years. I just never. They're like 40. They're like 40 bucks. That much,
they're
like $40.
We should just bite the bullet.
We really should. There's no reason not.
Because I want to see what happens around my car when I'm not around.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
You know, like, come on, because you can set like motion sensing and stuff, like. So see if anybody's
they got night vision on them.
See if anybody's looking in it or whatever, you know. So, But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Karen Reed. I mean, that's a horrible name, man. Karen, that's
the jury's automatically gonna not like her for that name. At least she doesn't have the Karen haircut, though. If she had the Karen haircut, they'd have found her guilty. Like, I don't even need her case. I don't even need her case. She did it.
Just take her out back and just shoot her. Like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck?
Like a dog.
So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she walks to them, man, because she is like I'm gonna call it, man. She's an attractive lady.
Yeah.
So, you know,
she's got that going for her.
Like, statistically,
a lot of time that helps a lot.
Statistically, it is a thing. Like, if you're like an attractive woman, like, you have a higher chance of getting off or getting lesser charges.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So
because attractive people they get a lot more slack.
Yeah.
Like, man or woman, but especially a woman.
Yeah. My fucking ogre-looking ass goes up there, dude. They're gonna send me away. They're gonna bury me in prison, dude.
Dude, look at me. They're gonna be like, how many people did this motherfucker kill already? Like, he's going.
Oh, that Charles Manson-looking motherfucker coming
like,
in.
Get him out of here. I don't even need to hear that dude talk. Put that dude on a chain gang and right now.
Him and his Nazi fucking boyfriend are gonna fucking go away together. You know?
Just get him the fuck out of here.
Holy shit. Oh man. All right. Oh god, that's funny.
So yeah. Speaking of I don't know.
You trying to connect the next subject?
Speaking of shit.
Speaking of shit that's out of control. Joe Biden's back in the news.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, Joe Biden made a little quick pit stop. This is right after the debate, right?
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, yeah.
Which I mean, it takes place at night, so who knows? But okay, so I want you to watch this, and the audience, I want you to watch this too, and let me know if you see anything that seems a little off about this scenario.
And this is the first time that I've seen this video.
Because I watched it and noticed something weird, and then I want to see if you pick up on it too. Okay. It's all right. We'll show it though.
I gotcha.
You spend too much time in the gym. I gotta go down this way first. That's true. I took my daughter went to Tulane. Yeah, no. That's why she come home with some kid that boy talking funny at her. How are you? Good to see you. Hey man, how you doing? Good to see you.
Mr. President, how do you think we did tonight?
What we got now? We got an order here somewhere.
For Biden. I don't have it, but how do you think you did tonight?
How we doing today?
You have it?
I have your food ready.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Hey, you welcome.
Wow.
Trade off.
$40 tip.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
All right, you want me to start throwing out things?
Yeah.
His arm looked weird. Is that what I'm talking about?
It's not what I was talking about.
Okay. The entire thing seemed super staged.
Yeah, that's one of the things.
There was a camera behind the counter.
Another
and
thing.
The food was instantly ready too.
Another thing.
Now they could have fucking called that in.
They acted like they called it in, so I'm assuming they did.
Okay. Am I getting warm?
You're getting warm. You got some of the stuff, but there's one major thing that whenever I tell you, you're gonna be like, how
did I not notice that?
Yeah.
All right, what do you got, man? Okay.
Where was the food? None of those people in the entire restaurant.
Wait! Hold the fuck on. You want to watch it again?
Yeah.
Well, I guess people back home can go back and watch it or whatever. I'm like thinking like right now, like.
But yeah.
Just skim through that. Like, just let me see that.
Okay.
There's no food.
There's 2 cups.
Yeah.
But all those people are just sitting there with their phones out. Like, what are they doing over there? Are they waiting? Like, it's a Waffle House at night. It ain't that packed. He gives that dude the black handshake.
Dabs him up real quick. Yeah, we can just fast forward through it a little bit.
I mean, they just got all their phones, but here it shows like no food. He's got 2 drinks there.
Damn. It's clearly like super staged.
Yeah.
You know, those are like all like people. You want to call them actors or whatever. People they vetted.
Paid. Yeah.
Had them come in, stage it up. I mean, they had to set up the camera equipment behind the counter.
Did you notice how well there was like music playing, but normal.
The audio was really good.
Yes.
Almost like a studio.
Like it was added on there. Yeah.
Huh. I don't know, man. That's that PR world, dude.
So I think I don't think Biden could go in a Waffle House and a normal Waffle House.
Dude, I can't even go into a normal Waffle House. Are you shitting
I mean,
me?
like without someone that is going to be in there that's like, fuck Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way that all of those people with no food that are just sitting there on their phone would actually...
I mean, it's honestly like... Dude, it's fucking sad.
But you know why he did that? Because Trump's been going to all these fucking actual like he's been going to bodegas and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and like going in. He went to the place where
I saw
they
he
shot
ordered
some dude.
He ordered a bunch of fucking pizzas for like firefighters the other day.
Yeah,
Like, he went and picked them up and delivered. Like, here you go. Like, they didn't even know he was coming. He was just like, what? You can tell they're like, what?
Yeah.
The fucking president? Like,
is that Donald Trump? Holy shit!
Did you see the one where he was at it was some like bodega like you were talking about. I think he was getting like a slice of pizza or some crap, and there was a little kid there dressed up like him. Did you see that?
Yes. He signed a $20 bill.
Signed that money, and he was like, I like this kid. This kid's going places, you know. So I actually
that kid was like starstruck too. He was like so happy.
Yeah, and I've said this before. So my cousin, one of his best friends, was the communications director for Donald Trump's first campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So for 2 years, anytime Trump was on camera, that dude was standing behind the camera and like was like, say this, don't say that, like, you know, like basically like just kind of guiding like the comms, like, you know, like, what information are we letting out, you know, and because it's a fucking wild world. So
and Trump was always talking 24/7.
Yeah,
like he was active.
Oh,
so.
that dude didn't sleep for like 2 years.
I'm sure.
And so my cousin's friend, he was actually, I think he was the best man at my cousin's wedding, if I remember right. But anyway, I've never actually personally met the guy, but the dude did tell my family, that side of my family or whatever, he said that like Trump is genuinely like a really good person and he's like a really good boss to work for as long as you do your job.
Yeah.
He was like, I couldn't pick a better person to work for, man. And I was like, holy shit. And he said a lot of the stuff you see, he's like, it's genuine. I was like, huh, that's reassuring. So that's like 1 degree of separation, you know, from like kind of, or 2 degrees of separation, you know, knowing people have done it. And then like, you know, I mean, I knew tons of people in the military that met him and stuff. And they were like, oh no, he's like really nice. Like he'll actually stop and talk to you and stuff, you know.
Yeah, like he's not just doing meet and greet shaking, not even paying attention to what the fuck's going on shit. Like
like Obama, like that fucking, I don't know why that just reminded me. Remember that scene where everyone shit on Obama hardcore because he was getting on Marine One and you know the Marines were saluting, and he's got that cup of coffee in his hand and he just goes like this or whatever, and then everybody was like, fuck this dude. And like for some reason that irked me more than any, like I was like, yo, fuck that guy, man. Like these dudes sit they wait hand and foot like on you 24/7. They're like the best of the best.
And you can't even respect them for 3 seconds.
And you can't even like for not even 3 seconds.
Yeah, like,
you know. And then his excuse is like, "Well, I have to do it all the time."
So,
I was like,
so
do they?
Exactly. Exactly.
Dude, we're getting good at like saying
stupid ass like.
Dude, we're starting to get really good at saying shit at the same time, dude. Like, you know. So, but I don't know, man. Yeah, but that Biden trip to Waffle House, that's clearly fucking staged.
Yeah, man.
And then it's like it's Waffle House too, dude. I've never been to one late at night and felt safe.
Exactly.
You know, so do you really think the Secret Service would be like, oh yeah, let's just go to a Waffle House? You think that's like an attempt to show that, oh, I'm one of the like common folk?
Yeah, 100%, man. 100%.
Dude, that shit ain't fucking working, man.
Yeah,
people see through it.
People see through that shit, especially when you're that blatantly stupid about it too.
Yeah, and I feel like people are like awake now more than ever because so much information is. As soon as something happens, it's all over the internet. It's readily available, and you get it so quick. And we kind of keep, you know, like our finger on the pulse for that stuff because of the show we do and all that, and you know the comedy that we write.
We get like even we can't keep up with all the shit.
Yeah,
like,
it's like overwhelming, dude. It's like what is happening right now?
Like every time we have to like single down shit to talk about because there's just so much stuff constantly happening.
We're like, all right, we got 20 subjects to get through. All right, let's just
we got to
top
this
4
shit to
or
like
5
or 6. Like,
let's do this. Start a funny video to start off with. We'll be good, you know.
And roll it into more wild and insane conspiracies.
We do need to do another conspiracy one, though.
Yeah, we do. I mean,
I got the 9/11
This is
one
a fucking conspiracy.
This is
the Karen Reed was a conspiracy. I mean,
toe that line a little bit, but I don't know, dude. I mean, Biden, that shit was clearly staged at that Waffle House, dude. I don't know, man. It's
now he's like even more freaking out because of the debate and now these recent court rulings.
Yeah. That brings us on to our last subject, man. That's interesting.
It is. It's always been there, though. I mean, they're not really breaking new ground, I don't feel like. So
No.
I think the left just felt
We're talking about the immunity that Trump has.
I think they just felt like they had it all like in the bag, basically.
Yes. Which was going to set a horrible precedent in the country. Like, it was just going to be like, oh, can we now just like prosecute every single president over every little thing?
It would become like some old school like kings and queens type shit where you just kill your opponent. let's watch the video on this.
After the U.S. Supreme Court's decision on presidential immunity from criminal prosecution, former President Donald Trump has a new request. As CBS correspondent Jared Hill explains, now Mr. Trump wants the judge in his so-called hush money trial to set aside his guilty verdict.
This morning, new questions around whether the Supreme Court's monumental ruling on presidential immunity could impact former President Trump's felony convictions. Trump's lawyers are asking the judge in his New York financial records case to delay next week's sentencing and toss out the convictions, claiming some evidence came from his time in the White House and should be considered official presidential acts.
For the things that are just for the president, for those things that are just within the president's ambit, absolute immunity. For official acts in general, at least presumptive immunity.
The High Court's 6-3 decision will likely slow Trump's January 6th election interference trial.
There is an enormous amount of legal work that is now going to have to unfold over the next several months. That means the chances of a trial before the election are zero at this point.
President Biden criticized the first of its kind Supreme Court ruling.
Today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do.
Trump celebrated the moment, writing on social media, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American." Jared Hill, CBS News.
So
Biden is scared now.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, because if I was Biden, I'd be kind of happy myself, because that means your official duties as president, right, and presumptive duties, you get a pass. You can't be charged for anything, you know? And, like, let's face it, every president can be charged with something.
For sure. You can't, all presidents do bad stuff.
You could legitimately charge every single president we've had in the last 100 years of war crimes.
Yeah.
Like, you legitimately could do that, you know? Like, mass bombings and stuff that take place, you know? Like, all this shit, all this super secret shit.
Because everybody does it, because you have to. That's part of doing the job. Whether or not you're not going to get it right every damn time.
There's going to be some dirty parts to it, man.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, yo, fuck, maybe I need to go to a Waffle House. you know, like,
you know the rules when you put on the uniform.
Get real tired deleting villages in Yemen. I'm gonna go hang out at Waffle House.
Yeah.
Get me a 2-piece and a biscuit. But that is kind of dope. I do actually agree with it. There's a thing, I think we talked about it before, what is it called? The unilateral theory in political science or whatever, where fundamentally the president cannot break a law.
Oh, yeah.
Because by nature, he is the highest office you could hold. So he should naturally just have ultimate immunity. Now, that is more in the sense of, like, official duties.
Yeah,
right?
Like what he's doing in his home life is something different.
Yeah, like if he goes out drinking, gets in a bar fight, stabs dude in the neck with a bottle, he should go up for murder charges, you know what I mean? But I'm actually starting to think too, man, maybe there should be something, like some law set into place where if a president is elected and has, I don't know. God, it's such a sticky situation. Because I see what they did to Trump. I want to say, what if, okay, yeah, you can charge him and all that stuff if you want. Okay, maybe you have some ground to stand on, but you can't actually go to trial until his presidency is over.
Oh yeah, so basically it just gets pushed.
Yeah, so maybe for something like, I don't know, like non-violent crimes or something like that. But like you will see your day in court, but it's gonna be.
But Trump is like. I mean, when's the last time a president has been put on trial for random bullshit?
Yeah, but the thing is like historically,
when everybody does,
they're just left alone.
Exactly.
Because it's like it's a shitty fucking job.
Like people were pissed at Bush, people were pissed at Obama, Clinton, everyone.
I remember when they were like trying to like fucking. Well, remember I was a kid. I remember reading about it later. They did it to Obama too. They did it to Bush, but they were like. There was talks, man, like with the United Nations, there was countries calling to like charge them as war criminals and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
and then they're pissed at Trump for writing some checks to a prostitute.
yeah, I still wish he would have came out and just owned it, man.
It would have made things better.
Yeah,
and people wouldn't have cared.
They're like, whatever, it is what it is. Oh, some billionaire like real estate developer from New York City banged a fucking porn star, and I gotta be surprised.
I can't believe this happened. Whoa, first of its kind. Holy shit.
I'm more surprised by the fact that he's never had a sip of alcohol, supposedly.
Yeah.
Because his brother died from alcohol poisoning, and that like just fucked him up, and he just has sworn it off like his entire life. I was more surprised by that than the porn star allegations.
that's way more insane to me.
I was like, wait, what? Really? Like your whole life? Like holy shit, dude.
You don't even know what it tastes like?
I don't know, but that is good. I think to be completely non-biased, I think having immunity for official duties in office for a president is a no-brainer, and I think it's an actual win for the country.
It is, because otherwise, if we get started down this slippery slope, then every future president is going to come up on charges.
Yeah.
Every fucking
They're going to have a new lawsuit every month.
Yeah.
Like, we just going to keep doing this?
Yeah.
But you know what's the thing that's crazy, too, about Trump? So how many Supreme Court justices did he appoint while he was in office?
Was it 6?
No, well, there's a total... No. He didn't appoint 6. I think it was... Oh, shit. Okay, there was Brett Kavanaugh. There was... oh, shit. What's her name? I can't think of it right now. It was on the tip of my tongue. There was a girl... Was it 2 or 3? Okay.
I don't know.
Damn it. Okay,
Anyway.
just do me a favor. I know we hate doing this during the show. Just we're almost done. Google, like, Supreme Court justices, like, the names or whatever. I'm just curious. Current members, yeah. So he appointed the Kavanaugh, and then who is... So all right, so 3 of them. All right, so yeah, it was Amy Barrett. That's who I was thinking of. So anyway, so Trump
Amy Coney?
Yeah, Coney Barrett. So there's 3 justices that he appointed, right? Now, the justices are supposed to be impartial, right? But their political affiliations are known.
Yeah.
So they're all Republicans, and one he picked. That's what everyone does.
Duh, no shit.
You know?
Why would you not?
And it's kind of a gamble, like, because the president, appoints them, and then they're confirmed by Congress and all that stuff. But the thing is, they can't really control it because it's all about when someone wants to step down or die, and most people just die doing it, right?
Yep.
And so anyway, he got to appoint 3, and what is it? There's 9 total.
Yes.
So he appoints 3, and apparently, based on like current, like I think there's one guy that says he's going to retire or whatever. Long story short, Trump could end up, if he wins this next election, could end up appointing 2 more. And he would have the record out of any president ever in American history to fucking appoint 5 justices to the Supreme Court. He got 5 out of 9, dude. Like, that's a wild...
I mean, that's the luck of the draw.
Wild story, man. That's luck. And there's nothing he could, unless he got him murdered and shit.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing he could have done, It's just luck of the draw. So,
well, that's why Biden wanted to pack the court. Like, they wanted to pack that shit for so many time and add members because they were pissed.
I still feel like that was kind of more of like a conspiracy theory to be in anything,
I mean, like,
I don't know, man. It popped up so quickly, and it was like, I was like, there's no way you could do this. Like, this just isn't going to work.
Well, that's why they weren't able to.
And then, like, Biden himself came out early on and was like, I have no intention of doing that whatsoever,
Oh, yeah, I trust him.
Yeah, well, okay, there you go. You got me on that one. You got me backed in a freaking corner. But, I don't know. I just don't see it being a realistic possibility and stuff like that.
Well, hopefully it's not. And hopefully, I mean, they've already tried, allegedly, maybe. So...
But yeah, man, so our boy might get a 5 out of 9, which is like wild to think about. And that's like history. That's us watching real history in real time if that occurs, man. And that's pretty cool. But and that would really like steer the fate of the country. And we can always look back and be like, hey, like we were there at that point when we went down the wrong road or the right road, depending on where you want to go. So
I mean, it's got to be better than the road we're heading down now. So I'm with it.
Yeah, dude, I think that next election is going to be a landslide. Like I said the last episode, it is a no-brainer, dude. You got to be in.
Yeah, but there's how many people with no brains? So,
dude, it's like we go back. It's a running joke with us. When we started this show and I started getting back into stand up, I was super optimistic about people. Like I just believed in the best in people. I was like, yes, we have differences, all this other stuff, but we can like do some hands across America shit and come together. Yeah, I was wrong. Just go hang out in the comments section.
Gang warfare out in these trenches, boy.
Bro, it is violence, man. Like it is insane. And people like they don't even argue tangible thoughts anymore.
No, it's just literally just like back and forth insults.
Yeah.
Like,
they'll just be like, "Fuck you, I don't like Trump," but go Biden.
Even owns in jail.
Yeah, that's literally. I'm like, hey, like, can we just like have a discussion with it? Because sometimes like, low key to our followers, aka the OG, the real coons, right? I'll slide up in the comments every now and then, under a little pseudonym, some anonymous action, right? And just kind of engage just to see. And I'm usually just trying to like, hey, like have a dialogue, like, hey, like what why do you think this or whatever? And dude, it always comes out to be like some hack bullshit, man.
Yeah, you can't argue with these people online.
And you don't know who you're talking to, man. You could be talking to like a fucking 16-year-old punk, or you could be talking to like a fucking 90-year-old like. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a huge, it's the internet, man. Like,
it annoys me when old people talk shit because I'm like, dude, you're too old to be negative. Like, shut the fuck up and enjoy your life, dude. Like, get off the internet. That's what I tell them every fucking time. I'm like,
get off the internet.
I'm like, you're too old to be negative. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't even talk shit to those old people.
Sometimes it's entertaining though, and then but what I do actually enjoy about our show is now we've gotten enough of a following. Like we have actual fans. They'll sometimes come to like the rescue in the comment section and start like blowing up other people's
they know what's up. They're not like they're actually. I would call them more intelligent human beings. Like, obviously, they get some of this shit.
Yeah, especially like with our shorts and stuff. Like, it's all satire, and, but like, what gets me is like the fact that people would just believe it. And we've made some that are so outlandish and so crazy, and it's like you would have to be an actual physical moron to think this has any element of truth.
Yeah, but the internet is open to everybody, man.
I don't know. Remember, like for the longest time, like it stopped happening. I think we have enough fans like now. It kind of like like tiki torches in the night, kind of like chased off the bad guys. But okay, that sounded really bad.
You said bad guys, not black guys.
I said tiki torches in the night chasing off the bad guys. I meant more like, I was thinking of...
the haters.
I was thinking more like Lord of the Flies when they're scared of like the monster. They got tiki torches and spears. Right? But anyway, I was going somewhere. Poor choice of words on my part. But yeah, like in the beginning, man, like, dude, how many times did we hear the term fake news? Like, we were getting accused of being fake news all the time. And I was like... At one point, I just remember coming into like our office and I was just like so distraught. I was like, I don't want to ever hear that fucking word again, dude. I don't want to hear it out of anyone's mouth ever again. Like, I'm so sick and tired. Because we'd had like over 100 comments that had mentioned it. They'd be like, fake news, fake news. Well, I don't know. It's clearly labeled as satire. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I don't know. I'll put it up against any of your real news. We'll see who turns out on top.
And what's funny is like, okay, yeah, our shorts are bullshit. But, all right, guys, once again, thanks for tuning into another episode of the Dumpster Diaries. We look forward to seeing you guys next week, man. Just hang in there and try to stay positive.